So guys, finally, Kenneth Okonkwo has come out to vindicate Peter Obi on his one-term proposal. Since Peter Obi came out to say that Nigerians should trust him, he's going to spend only one term just to lay foundations that people can start working on for Nigeria to progress. Guess what? The APC has known no peace since Peter Obi came out to propose that he's going to stay in power for one term. If you go to the internet, buy or no them and other APC mobsters on the social media, they've come out saying that Peter Obi is lying, Peter Obi is lying, everybody is Peter Obi, Peter Obi. I mean, they've abandoned governance, the APC government, they've abandoned the plight of Nigerian people to address them, and they are just focusing on Peter Obi, Peter Obi. Guess what? Kenneth Okonkwo is saying that the constitution mandates one term. That is just the politicians that have turned that one term to be 2 terms. Even when you don't have clue of what you are doing in power, you will be forced to do 2 terms. So guys, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at what Kenneth Okonkwo has got to say. Take your time, watch this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Now take a look.
First and foremost, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria made it clear. In section 135, subsection 2, and section 180, subsection 2 of the Constitution is very clear. The term of a president or a governor is 4 years. 4 years. The Constitution was direct. It said the president, after spending 4 years in office, vacates his office. At times, politicians behave as if they don't have any job. So when somebody says he's going to spend only 4 years, he simply stated a constitutional provision. But here is just a little addition. The Constitution says you are no longer qualified to contest if you have contested for that position twice in previous elections. And this is by section 137, subsection 1B, and section 187, subsection 1B. So the issue here is this. If you say you want to contest one term, that is your own idea. That is your own opinion. You are entitled to it. In Nigeria and in some African countries, where elections are deemed not to be free and fair, that's where you have all this unnecessary argument. Why did I say that? Even abroad, you're not sure, even when you're an incumbent, whether if you recontest, whether you will win. That is where you will know that your term of office is not 8 years, it's not 2 terms, it's 1 term. So it ought not to even be a point of argument, because even if you are an incumbent, if you recontest, you can fail. The only thing the Constitution says is that if you fail 100 times, if you have not been elected twice, you are still qualified to be governor or president. So for me, I do not see any issue whatsoever, except, like you said, distrust of themselves, and 2, because of the belief that there is no free and fair election. If there is free and fair election, then the issue of 2 term, 8 years would not arise. But here is another issue. Because of our rotational arrangement, which has this proposition of 8 years for South, 8 years for North, politicians now do not want to place themselves in a disadvantaged position, because 4 years having been taken by a Southern politician, if you are a fresh politician and you want to do another 8 years, you will know that you are dead on arrival. So it's a political strategy on its own for you to accede that you will do 4 years. It is not because the politician did not want to do 8 years, no. But he knows that he has only 4 years left from the Southern, remaining term. But here is another issue. By agreeing you will do 1 year, you do 4 years, you have also agreed that if there is any other northerner that say he will do also 4 years, then both of you are at the same level of equity, because there would be no injustice either section. So there's nothing wrong in a party, for instance, especially an opposition party that doesn't have an incumbent, saying in order that Nigerians will be free to trust them, that they are going to have a transitional government whereby whoever is going to contest would have to agree to do one term and do not exercise his constitutional rights to recontest. A party can do that, so that whether they present a candidate from the north or from the south, the Nigerians from either section will not feel that they have been betrayed or an injustice meted out to them. For instance, if a northerner wins in another political party and commits to do 4 years, then what it means is that the south and the north has shared for 4 years like they did during the Yaradua Goodluck Jonathan period, and there will be no injustice. So there is nothing, absolutely nothing that ought to raise concerns or arguments. But like you said, you know, a man who kills by the sword does not like people to wave sword at his back. So politicians have made themselves very untrustworthy. So they go the extra mile to prove themselves when they make any proposition.
All right, Mr. Okonkwo, that's noted. A lot of people might have focused on the what in terms of what was said, but you've drawn some focus to the why this move might have been made in terms of the rotational arrangement and being a political strategy. But let's look more, examine at the why a bit closer. Do you think there are any personal reasons that might not be overt for this declaration being made by the aspiring president of Nigeria?
No. It's purely a political strategy. There is nothing hidden about it, because every politician would want to complete his 2 terms if he has the opportunity. But of course, if this were 2023, the same politician and presidential candidate or aspirant would not make the same promise. Like I said, as it stands today, a southerner has taken 4 years. So it will be a political suicide for you to come and say you want to do 8 years. Nobody will vote for you, not even from south or from the north. So it is purely a political strategy, nothing else. Anybody telling you it's because he wants to be like Mandela or want to be like this, no, that's not true. But again, the person may want to tell you that just for you to believe he will do 4 years. He may want to tell you that he can still achieve his basic objectives within 4 years. Just to encourage you to know that he is serious in not trying to exercise his constitutional right to recontest election. So there is nothing beyond political strategy. That's what it is.
All right, some political scientists will usually say that we missed a major turning point in our nascent democracy, whereby we did not see through that particular law or that particular policy that would have become law, whereby it would have been 1 year, 6 years. Do you think Nigeria would have been better off if we had decided to go down that road than trying to do 2 terms or maybe of 8 years?
Now, from day one, from 1999, I have been in support of 1-term presidency, 1-term executive tenure. And the reason is very clear. The issue of 2 terms have introduced a whole lot of politicization of Nigeria, which leads to division and balkanization, which leads to the elites manipulating the followership with religious and ethnic bigotry that is non-existent amongst them. The reason is this. All this issue of whether the president should appoint the INEC chairman will disappear on its own when you have 1-term presidency, because no president will now be able to appoint any INEC chairman that will supervise his own election. If you do 8 years of 2 terms, you don't have 2 years for yourself as a president, because you will use it politicking. So eventually, you will spend state resources, you will spend state time, you will spend the bureaucracy of state for politics. One-term presidency will first and foremost secure the issue of rotation between North and South. And you can now make it constitutional, and it will not be breached because you just have one term. And when it is one term of 6 years, you have nothing to lose if it is 2 terms of 8 years. Because you, from the one when you settle in, it is for legacy. Haven't you noticed that every president in power is always reluctant to sign electoral reforms in his first term in office? The reason is because he wants to use the jaundiced Electoral Act to rig his own election before, when he wins the second time, when he does not have any other attempt to, contest for, he will not be willing to sign Electoral Act or even constitutional amendment that would take us forward. So, but if it is one term, from the one, the president that is coming in is willing and bold enough to sign every legacy legal reforms that would have made us to be the first to be in the first superpower nation by now. Honestly, we don't have any need for 2 terms of 8 years. 1 term of 6 years would have been ideal. I supported it from 1999. I've been writing an article about it. It's quite unfortunate because since we don't have free and fair election, that is another way to push us closer to free and fair election, because no president will be willing to have his legacy soiled internationally and nationally that he is an election rigger. So if he's not going to be the one supervising his own election, our election will get cleaner and cleaner until we get to the best time. Our economy will get stronger and stronger because he comes in immediately and he will not talk about using the resources for politics, but using it for development, because he cannot use it for his own election. So it is all good, one term, politically, socially, economically, and otherwise. And everybody should please work hard so that we can have it.
Indeed, Mr. Okonkwo, you've said that you've been an advocate of this one term since 1999, giving us the reasons why, from effective governance to strengthening our democracy. But do you think, with how things look right now, if you look at all the factors in play right now, how soon do you think we'll get to a point in Nigeria where a one-term presidency will go from ideal to reality?
It can happen tomorrow. This president changed the national anthem within a week. The political will is there, but they don't want to use it for what will be good for Nigeria, for selfish reasons. Just because this president may want to do 8 years. What if God, in his own infinite mercy, terminates you and you just do only 4 years? Which one would have been better for you? So I agree with you. The time is now. Today is the best time for the constitution to be amended for that one-term presidency. And Nigeria should be willing to make any sacrifice to accommodate that one-term presidency. So it is purely, a political mess that the National Assembly, every session, they will say constitutional amendments. They will go to all the geopolitical zones. They will sow Ashobi in some of the zones, singing, hey, on mandate, on your not your mandate. And at the end of the day, you achieve nothing. We should be serious in this country. The time is now. The opposition should insist. The ruling party should insist. Nigerians should insist so that we can move forward in this country. It is lack of interest, lack of intention, lack of desire to do it. Because this president is completely in charge of the National Assembly. He's completely in charge of majority of the states. Anything he wants done can be done. But he is very, very, very bold. Very, very audacious in taking wrong decisions. But the right ones, unfortunately, sorry.
All right.
The incompetence and corruption of this government is what is hindering them.
Peter Obi, former Anambra State Governor, declared his intention to run for president in the 2023 general election in Nigeria. The peace-loving, soft-spoken gentleman has visited the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to canvass for support amid challenges of insecurity, inflation, and religious crisis, just to mention a few. During his nationwide delegates campaign tour, the former presidential running mate to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in the 2019 general election stated that he only needs 4 years to fix Nigeria. Obi said he will replace the sharing formula of monthly allocation with a production formula if elected. He further stated that Nigeria has been badly managed over the years and the country is collapsing. In a meeting with PDP delegates in Kaduna State, Peter Obi promises to turn Nigeria into a producing nation.
Politicians in Nigeria have all made us to just ignore the constitution. Nobody is thinking about the constitution. Once elected, forever elected till 8 years is over. You know, Nigerians no longer look at the constitution. Even people who read law, even people who know what the constitution is saying, they have come out to say, how is it possible to transform a country in 8 years? Tinubu will soon spend 4 years now. What has he achieved? What has the Tinubu's government achieved? What has he achieved, if not destroying Nigeria? Peter Obi said he's not going to do 100% reformation, but he's going to put things in place. We need to build strong institutions. We need to make Nigeria to work. Peter Obi is saying he needs to come in, set foundations that people will come in and build on and make Nigeria work again. Now, you saw him in Kaduna State yesterday. They said Peter Obi has no place in the North. The North will not accept Obi. But now the Northerners, especially the young Northerners, those of them in schools, be it secondary, be it tertiary, those of them who are learned, they've come to know that, see, we've been going by tribe and religion. It doesn't help us. If we have somebody who really has the interests of the North at heart, and the interests of every part of Nigeria, Peter Obi said his governance is going to carry everyone along. Tinubu said it's his turn. He's focusing on the Southwest, abandoning every other region. People were thinking that Buhari was the most nepotic president. Anyway, Buhari said it that you guys are going to miss me. And you can see that that's exactly what's happening. That you guys will miss him. That is what is happening in Nigeria today. So guys, I'm just going to stop here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on what is happening in this country. Now, even Wike himself has come out to say it's impossible to turn around every sector in 2 years. He's talking about Tinubu. What has Tinubu done, even if it's not 2 years? What exactly has he done for these years that he has been there? Nothing to show for, nothing to show for. And that's why Peter Obi is saying, see, when I come in, I'll block the leakages. I will make sure Nigeria work again. But guess what? They are saying that Peter Obi is going to lie. It's been Peter Obi. Everywhere on the internet, all the APC mobsters, if they don't talk about Peter Obi, they will not have rest. I mean, Peter Obi everywhere. If they don't mention Peter Obi, tell me, how would they get engagement? How would they get likes? How would they get anybody engaging to their tweets? It's Peter Obi. For me, I would just tell obedience them not to even mind to react to their posts, because that's just their strategy. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.